Watch this episode to the end and you'll find out two things. The first is whether or not the main reason why I find the sovereign citizen defense such a pathetic joke is the same as yours. And the second thing you'll find out is why Kevin looks like this and why his lawyer looks like that. Welcome to Off the Record. Today I have a lesson in feelings. Whose feelings? Here I shall show you. This is Kevin. Kevin is wanting bond for his crime. And what's his crime? Well, that would be that he is a sexual predator. He attacks children worse than the monsters in any Sumerian myth. So, whose feelings? Wait, it's coming. And the thing about this type of crime is that whatever comes out of their mouth is going to be crud, and that whatever he places up for a defense, is going to be a joke. And what defense did Crud place up? Well, I'll let him explain.
What's his name?
The beneficiary.
Yeah, first name is the beneficiary.
Are you stating that the trust that we are administrating is the Kevin Pollard Trust? If so,
I'm asking you what your name is.
my name is the beneficiary of the trust.
Of whose trust?
Are you stating that the trust that we are now administrating is the Kevin Pollard Trust, Your Honor?
Okay, I'm
If
gonna
so,
recall him. Bring up somebody else. Put him aside. We'll call him at the end.
Thank you, Judge.
Kevin is a sovereign citizen. That's his go-to defense. And the thing about those feelings, whose feelings? The sovereign citizen's feelings. Their feelings when they see this and think in their minds that this perv can't use that. They're just bullshitting to get out of a charge. That feeling that they have towards this mug for trying to be a sovereign to get out of jail free card are the same feelings that people have towards all mugs that use the SOV in court. For it is as ridiculous now, in this case, with Kevin, as it is every time this non-defense is used to disrupt the court and its proceedings. This is not to say that using the SOV defense does not mean that you are a pervert. What it means is that they're a mug that is bullshitting so as to get the card to get out of jail free. That's the defense. Kevin's defense. And since he's back, he can take it from here.
Sir, is your name the beneficiary Kevin Teron Anthony Pollard? Yes or no?
I'm the beneficiary of the trust, Your Honor. Are you stating that the trust that we are now administrating is the Kevin Pollard Trust?
Are you Kevin Pollard? I'm asking you.
Is the trust that we are now administrating?
Sir, I asked the questions here. You give me yes or no answers.
You're asking for my permission to
ask the questions. You give the answers. Is that clear?
It's very clear.
Okay, listen.
Yes.
Are you also known by the name of Kevin Pollard amongst other names? Yes or no?
Are you stating that the trust that we are now administrating is the Kevin Pollard Trust, Your Honor? If so, Kevin Pollard is in fact present today. It is you that is Kevin Pollard, Your Honor. It is you.
Really?
Yes, Your Honor.
Really?
It is you. That is Kevin Pollard. Yes, Your Honor.
I'm Kevin Pollard.
You are Kevin Pollard today, Your Honor. I am the beneficiary.
And then who are you?
I am the beneficiary of the trust.
Okay, well, Mr. Beneficiary, take you and your trust back to jail.
So Kevin's tactic seems to be going to plan.
I have some questions for the clerk, Your Honor.
No.
I have. Can I speak to the clerk before we go any further?
You know what? I'm gonna put you in timeout. Get your mind right.
Now, as we wait for Kevin to get back, what I would like to know is what is their argument? Whose argument? Let me explain. The sovereign citizen is arguing that they should be held exempt from being able to commit crimes, especially the one that they are charged with. And that's their argument, that they're a sovereign citizen, crimes don't apply. And what that also means is that they are also in agreement that Kevin here should be allowed to do the same. That is their argument, that the crimes that Kevin is charged with should be dropped. And that is something that the people who use the sovereign citizen defense, that they should really know so that they can explain to the rest of us their argument, because the rest of us don't feel that fucking way at all.
Mr. Pollard?
Yes, sir. Can I have the clerk present? Please, Your Honor.
Don't give in.
Please have the clerk present in the Zoom meeting.
You know what? If you answer my questions, I'll consider it.
Okay. What's the question?
What's your name?
The beneficiary.
All right, Mr. Beneficiary, put you back in timeout.
Kevin here is about to meet the worst thing a SOV citizen can run into: the process.
All right, Beneficiary. I'm going to give you another chance in front of another magistrate.
That's no problem. Can I have the clerk present, please?
Hey, sir, I'm Magistrate Chartea. DDC.
Excuse me? Yeah.
I'm talking to the DDC officer.
Yes.
DDC?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The gentleman that is in front of the screen, in front of camera one, what name do you have him listed as?
Kevin Pollard.
Do you have a middle name?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you have a Kevin Pollard. Okay, and sir, you're identified as Kevin Pollard, but you're considering yourself the beneficiary. Is that correct, sir?
Are we on the record?
We are. Everything is on the record.
Okay. Are you stating that the trust that we are now administrating is the Kevin Pollard Trust, ma'am?
I'm not administrating any trust because there is no trust in front of me. But what I'm asking you is, you call yourself the beneficiary. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, no problem. I have case number is 240-5538101. People of the state of Michigan versus Kevin Theron Anthony Pollard, who
Your
is
Honor,
listed by DDC as Kevin Pollard. However, the gentleman has identified himself
Your Honor,
as the
you
beneficiary.
you representing as Kevin Pollard today, Your Honor.
Mr.
Not
Pollard,
me.
I'm not.
Mr. Pollard, now, as your counsel, I am going to advise that you stop speaking and allow the judge to speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel Kirkland.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Thank
Shava Kirkland on behalf of Mr. Pollard, who has been advised of his rights, wishes to stand mute and waive the formal reading.
Thank you. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty.
The
Court
look
dates
on
are.
this clown's face says it all. That the tactic of interfering with judicial process so as to delay the process of natural justice, so it breaches the right of a speedy trial, the sovereign citizen defense, has collapsed. So now that this clown realizes that the process of him being found guilty of being a sicko is now moving forwards.
February 2nd, 2024. It is a probable cause conference, followed by preliminary examination, February 8th, 1:30 p.m. Both matters are in front of Judge King. The probable cause conference, it is at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Beneficiary, you should not talk over to the court. I thank you very much.
You are under oath and you are on record. And I'm asking you,
beneficiary, I have not sworn you under oath. I am under oath, so I am doing all this. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. I already given the court dates while this case is pending, sir. Okay, there should be no contact with the individual.
You are not allowed to state what the judgment is. That is my job, Your Honor.
Mr. Pollard, I do want to let you know that the person.
Okay.
I have a question for the clerk.
Okay.
I have a question
DDC,
for the clerk.
a moment.
I have a question for the clerk.
You will give an opportunity, sir. You will give an opportunity. Let me finish. While this case is pending, there's no contact with that means no person contact, no contact with third parties, no phone calls, no emails, no text messaging. The people, go ahead, Esteban.
Yeah, the people are asking for $250,000 cash bond, no cash, no surety. If he's able to ever post bond, we'd like GPS tether with home arrest. The defendant, Your Honor, has a continuing situation where he entices young girls on the internet from Arizona in this particular case, and previously on 10/23 2023 in another case where he enticed people. He's been arrested 3 different times for criminal sexual conduct. The first case, he was found not guilty back on 5/15/2015. The 10/21/2023 case, where he was criminal sexual conduct first degree and also contributing alcohol to a minor, 2 counts of that, was at the exam dismissed without prejudice. My belief in all that is because these victims all live out of state. In our particular case we have here today, Your Honor, the victim is from Arizona. She came here after having a relationship, not the victim, but one of the witnesses came here after having a 3-year relationship with this defendant on the internet. When she turned 18, she came to visit. And also, Mr. Pollard introduced her to another girl who is also from Arizona. The other girl brought her niece or her, I forgot the relationship, but her 7-year-old niece with her to visit Mr. Pollard.
Like I said, there isn't any argument in the world now, before or in the future, that it's okay to make their crimes go away. If they use the SOV defense, then they are arguing that Kevin here should be allowed to too. And that's an argument that they are never going to win.
And what happened then, because the person was tired from traveling, she fell asleep in the living room. When she woke up, she went into the bedroom, and there was Mr. Pollard with the 7-year-old girl. He then said, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Well, we're playing video games." So the woman, the adult in the room, she falls asleep again. And then she is awakened by the 7-year-old girl and asked to leave. The 7-year-old girl then tells her mother that Mr. Pollard touched her, rubbed her, he says, okay? He said, accidentally is what he's trying to tell us what happened. The situation is she's told the 7-year-old child has told TED Talk that he did this. He's told Protective Services that he did this. And as far as I'm concerned, Judge, he fits the category of a predator because he did the same thing in the 10/23/2023 case of enticing young people from other parts of the country, perhaps, I don't know where exactly, to come and see him on the internet. So we're asking for $250,000 cash bond, no surety, and GPS tether if he's ever be able to post bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. One question, Council Ragnan.
Yes.
Does he have any pending cases?
Not that I know of, Your Honor. The 10/23 case, 10/21/2023 case has been dismissed without prejudice at the exam. And I couldn't find out it was because if the witness was out of town or what the problem was, but.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Council Kirkland, go ahead, Esteban, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd ask this court, understanding the seriousness of these charges, for a 10% bond if this court is not inclined to do a high personal bond. So one, I know the bulk of Brother Counsel's argument was this dismissed case from last year. I'd ask that this court sentence him based on these allegations and the facts and details surrounding this case. This is a 2020 case. And the woman that he met was 20 years old, or that came to see him was a 20-year-old woman, was not an underage woman. And the allegation is that she brought her, I believe, goddaughter to the home.
Unbelievable that there is any adult that would bring a child to someone they met on the internet to hook up with. Then they should be locked up as well.
Now, there are different variations because a couple different stories are told as to what occurred there. But Mr. Pollard has maintained that he didn't actually assault the little girl. I'm not sure why this case wasn't charged until 2024, but it is a 4-year-old case. My understanding is that he, I don't believe he's had any convictions since then. He is a lifelong resident, has a child, so he has strong ties to the community. He also owns a lawn service here. At this point, there's no amount of bond that he can't afford to pay, so even a 10% bond would be unaffordable for him. But given the age of this case and his lack of issues since this, I'd ask this court consider a high personal bond, if not that, a 10% bond.
Thank you. I've heard the representations from both sides in this particular matter in reference to the beneficiary who is listed by the court or by DDC as Kevin Pollard, is that in this particular matter, even though this is from 2020, okay, there was a forensic interview, Kids Talk, with the victim, and she disclosed that she was touched by the defendant and that he rubbed her with his hand. This court is not considering the other cases that were dismissed without prejudice. Okay, this court is only going with this matter. In reference to this gentleman, the defendant, bond is going to be $250,000 cash. There's going to be a GPS tether, home arrest. Further, okay, it's going to be unaffordable. So today is Friday. He's going to get another court date. Today's the 26th, January 29th, 2024, 9 o'clock in front of Judge McConicle, who's going to be looking at the bond amount and bond conditions. Also, there is one other thing. This court looks at clear and convincing evidence standard, okay, based on the representation, based on the reading. This court is convinced that Mr. Pollard, okay, I'm sorry, the beneficiary, okay, that he is a creditor in this particular matter. That's why we're putting at $250,000 cash, GPS tether, house arrest. He does have the, again, the unaffordable bond redetermination for this Monday, January 29th, 2024, 9 o'clock in front of Judge McConicle. Also, there's another bond condition. He's not to be around any minor children. That concludes the arraignment of the beneficiary, also known as Kevin Pollard. Madam Clerk.
Pretrial, Your Honor.
You wish
No, I was
talk to the gentleman that's in front of the screen.
Judge.
Okay.
Pretrial and
Just so
examination.
for the record, is that the clerk has declined to talk to the gentleman in front of the screen.
No, that is not
concludes his
fair.
arraignment.
Keep an eye on this guy's lawyer. As you can see, she's not arguing on his behalf because she's not crud. And as you will see, she finds him and the sovereign citizen argument the same as we do.
Thank you.
That is not fair. You cannot do this. Under oath and on record, you cannot do this. I have rights, and you violated them, and you was not my judge.
Okay, you can go. Go ahead and do whatever.
You cannot do that.
She just did, dipshit. And you can see by Kevin's reaction how he really needs for the sovereign defense to work, as that is his only defense he has, as he doesn't say anything about having evidence to refute these disgusting charges, just the solve defense and where Kevin is going. And with what he's done, he really needs the sovereign citizen defense to work. And that is why you can hear panic in his wailing. It's a beautiful sound. In fact, it's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Okay.
As the beneficiary,
And now that the original judge is back, Kevin thinks he still might have a chance to hold up the proceedings if only his voice can be heard, and he gets that reaction from the judge. But really the reaction you should watch is his lawyer, as she sums it up beautifully for us all.
I asked.
I'm sorry.
Can we have those dates again? We couldn't hear them.
Over the dates.
February 2nd, February 8th.
February 2nd, February 8th. Bond
The clerk
determination Monday.
administrator of this QV trust account that she are that.
Huh? What you say?
And that is how they ended up looking like that. The sovereign citizen defense, the joke of the judicial system. And with that said, to my subscribers that are here, my community, so to speak, let me know what you think about my thought that for me, one of the bigger negatives that I have towards the people that use the soft defense is that if they really believe that they are exempt from the law, then they are okay with Kevin using it for the same purpose. And for me, that's the biggest problem they have when it comes to their argument that the sovereign citizen defense should be used by pedos to get the get-out-of-jail-free card. Stay safe, everyone. Well, everyone except Kevin. Kevin can burn, and burn he shall. God bless. Unless you're Kevin, because he's too busy burning. If in doubt, check these out.